Welcome back to the Good Girl Box. I'm your host, Karen, and I'm so glad you're here today. If you're tuning in, you're probably on a journey like many of us, one of self-discovery, growth, and breaking free from old patterns that no longer serve you. Today, we're going to talk about something that might be uncomfortable but incredibly powerful. Why the wrong people come into your life and how they often arrive to teach you some of your most important lessons. It can be painful when relationships don't work out the way we imagined, whether it's romantic, friendships, or even family dynamics. But what if these challenging relationships are here for a purpose? What if they are actually here to help you grow, heal, and ultimately become more aligned with your true self? That's what we're diving into today. First, let's talk about patterns. If you look back on your life, do you notice that you've been attracting the same kind of people over and over again? Maybe it's partners who don't treat you with the respect you deserve, friends who take more than they give, or even family members who constantly push your boundaries. These people may seem wrong for you, and yet they keep showing up in different forms. Here's the truth. Patterns repeat themselves until we learn the lesson they're here to teach us. The wrong people show up in your life not to punish you, but to hold a mirror up to your wounds, your unhealed parts, and the beliefs you carry about yourself. Maybe deep down, you don't believe you're worthy of love. Maybe you've been conditioned to think you need to prove yourself over and over again, and so you attract people who reinforce that belief. When we look at these relationships through a lens of learning, instead of just pain, we can start to ask, what is this person here to teach me? What part of myself needs healing? Often, we attract the wrong people because in some strange way, they feel familiar. Maybe the chaos, the criticism, or the emotional unavailability mirrors something from your childhood. And while it doesn't feel good, it feels normal, familiar. This is where the addiction comes in. We unconsciously gravitate toward what we know. If you grew up in an environment where love was conditional, where you had to earn it, or where you felt invisible, you may find yourself in relationships that reflect those dynamics. It's not because you deserve to be treated poorly. It's because your mind is wired to seek out what's familiar, even if it hurts. But here's the thing. Just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's right. We have to break the addiction to these patterns and start to see them for what they are. A reflection of old wounds that need healing, not an indicator of our worth. Once you recognize the pattern, it's time to take responsibility. This is not about blaming yourself for the actions of others, but it's about acknowledging the role you've played in continuing these cycles. The Hawaiian practice of Ho'oponopono, which I've mentioned before, is a beautiful tool for this. The mantra, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you," allows you to clear emotional blocks without judgment. It's about healing, not blaming. One of the hardest things to realize is that our parents, like us, only knew what they knew. They passed down what was passed to them. They didn't have the tools or awareness to fill certain emotional needs we had as children. Maybe they were dealing with their own generational wounds and weren't able to be the parents we needed at the time. And that's okay. No one is at fault. But now, as adults, we have the power to heal ourselves. We can give ourselves the love, the validation, and the nurturing that we didn't receive. By parenting your inner child, by being the partner or parent you needed, you can begin to heal the core wounds that keep attracting the wrong people into your life. It's about taking responsibility for your healing so you can stop repeating the same painful patterns. When the wrong people come into your life, they are offering you an opportunity to grow. Maybe they're here to teach you how to set boundaries. Maybe they're showing you what you no longer need to tolerate. Maybe they're helping you see your own worth by showing you what it feels like when someone doesn't see it. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in my own journey is that you can't always control who comes into your life, but you can control who stays. It's okay to let people go who don't honor your boundaries or respect your values. It's okay to say, this isn't for me anymore. And this is why awareness is so important. Start paying attention to how you feel around certain people. Who makes you feel safe, happy, and understood? Who makes you feel anxious, drained, or confused? Your emotions are always communicating with you. Trust them. The key to breaking this cycle of attracting the wrong people is self-awareness and self-compassion. You have to be willing to look at your patterns honestly, without judgment, and ask yourself, what part of me is still unhealed? What am I still seeking that I can give to myself? Start to spend more time with people who make you feel good, who lift you up, and who respect your boundaries. Spend less time with those who make you feel small, confused, or anxious. And most importantly, forgive yourself for the times you stayed in unhealthy relationships. You didn't know better then, but you know better now. As you move forward, be gentle with yourself. Healing isn't linear, and breaking free from familiar patterns takes time. But with every step you take, you're moving closer to the love, peace, and freedom you deserve. As we close today's episode, I hope you feel empowered to look at the challenging relationships in your life through a different lens. Instead of seeing them as mistakes or failures, start to see them as lessons, opportunities for growth and healing. And remember, you have the power to break the cycle. You can choose who you allow into your life and how you respond to them. Thank you for being here with me today and for being part of this journey toward self-discovery and healing. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can reach out to me on social media, leave a review, or share this episode with a friend who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Until next time, keep trusting your voice and honoring your truth.